Before you buy a single seed packet or dig a single hole, put the shovel down and pause. This simple, almost reflexive pause is the first and most crucial step towards a thriving garden. The allure of spring, with its vibrant displays in garden centers and glossy catalogs filled with impossibly perfect vegetables, often sends new gardeners into a frenzy of activity. They rush home, full of enthusiasm and good intentions, only to find their dreams withering on the vine weeks later. Most first-time gardens fail not because of a lack of effort, but because of 3 specific mistakes made before the first seed is even planted. This initial planting phase, though less glamorous than planting, separates a season of frustration from a season of fruitful harvests. Let's make sure you don't become part of that statistic. Welcome to Don't Do This Guide, where we help you avoid the common pitfalls that cost beginners time, money, and sanity. Our philosophy is simple. By understanding the wrong way to do things, the right way becomes clearer and more intuitive. We believe that knowledge, not just hard work, is the key to success in any new endeavor, especially one as dynamic and rewarding as gardening. If you want to learn the right way by understanding the wrong way, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We are here to be your guide, your mentor, and your friendly reminder to slow down and think before you act. The journey to a beautiful garden begins not with a shovel, but with a plan. The most frequent and heartbreaking mistake a new gardener makes is choosing the wrong location. Many people pick a spot based on convenience aesthetics, a patch of lawn visible from the kitchen window, a neat strip along the back fence. Tucking plants under the partial shade of a mature tree seems attractive. They forget about water access. Lugging heavy watering cans across a long yard every other day becomes tedious. Plants need 2 non-negotiables: adequate sunlight for photosynthesis, regular, accessible water. Without these, no amount of care will save them. Most vegetables and many flowers need at least 6 hours of direct sunlight. This is a biological necessity. Become a sun mapper before turning soil. Spend a few days observing your yard. Note where the sun falls at 9 a.m., at noon, at 3 p.m. Watch shadows from your house, your neighbor's garage, that tall oak tree move across the yard. Morning sun is cooler and gentler. Afternoon sun can be scorching. How do you choose a good spot? After choosing a sunny spot, the next hurdle is the soil itself. A common misconception: dirt is just dirt. Dig a hole, drop in a plant, expect it to grow. Soil is a living ecosystem. Composition varies wildly from yard to yard, sandy heavy with clay fertile loam. Each type behaves differently. It either holds water or it drains too fast. It affects nutrient availability to roots. Water-loving vegetable in sandy soil, sheet problem. Delicate herb in dense clay, sheet problem. Result: stress, disease, poor growth. No PhD needed. A few hands-on tests tell you most of what you need. First, the squeeze test. Grab a handful, moisten if dry, squeeze into a ball. Ball holds shape and feels slick. Heavy clay, falls apart and feels gritty, shows sandy. Loose ball that crumbles, shows loam. Next, drainage test. Dig a 1-foot hole, fill it with water, let it drain completely, fill again and time it. Drains in a few hours, shows excellent drainage. Water still after a day. Bad drainage, likely compacted or clay. Solution: consider raised beds. Fertilizer isn't a fix-all. It feeds plants but won't fix soil structure. Once you understand your location and your soil, the next practical question is how to structure your garden. The debate between raised beds and traditional in-ground planting can be confusing for beginners, with passionate advocates on both sides. Some gardeners will swear that raised beds are the only way to guarantee success, while others champion the natural simplicity and low cost of planting directly into the earth. The truth is that neither method is universally superior. The right choice depends on your soil quality, your available space, your budget, and your physical comfort. Choosing the wrong option can lead to unnecessary expense, labor, or a garden that struggles against its environment. Raised beds, essentially large containers that sit on top of the ground, are an excellent solution in several common scenarios. They are the perfect remedy for a yard with poor native soil. If your squeeze test revealed heavy, unworkable clay, or your drainage test was a failure, a raised bed allows you to bypass the problem entirely. You can fill it with a perfect, custom-blended mix of high-quality soil and compost, giving your plants an ideal environment from day one. Raised beds also offer superior drainage, and their soil warms up faster in the spring. Furthermore, for gardeners with back or knee issues, the elevated height significantly reduces the need for bending and kneeling. On the other hand, traditional in-ground planting has its own distinct advantages. If you are blessed with good, loamy soil and decent drainage, there is little reason to incur the extra cost and labor of building raised beds. Planting in the ground is the most cost-effective method, requiring no materials for construction and no massive soil importation. It is particularly well suited for gardeners who wish to cultivate a large area, as the space is virtually unlimited. A particularly painful mistake for beginners is, falling in love with a plant at the nursery or in a seed catalog without first considering if it is suited to their climate. It is easy to be tempted by images of lush watermelons or exotic artichokes, but if you live in a region with a short, cool growing season, you are setting yourself up for disappointment. Every plant has evolved to thrive within a specific set of environmental conditions: temperature range, humidity, length of daylight. Planting a heat-loving cabbage variety in a hot southern zone, or trying to grow long-season peppers in a northern climate with an early first frost date, is a battle against nature that a gardener rarely wins. The first step to intelligent plant selection is to know your climate intimately. The most widely used tool for this in the United States is the USDA Plant Hardiness Zone Map, which divides the country into zones based on average annual minimum winter temperatures. Knowing your zone is crucial for selecting perennial plants, shrubs, trees that can survive your winters. However, for annual vegetables and flowers, it's equally important to know your average first and last frost dates. These dates define the length of your growing season, the precious window of time you have to sow, grow, and harvest your plants before the killing cold returns. A quick search for your city or zip code online will provide you with all this essential data. With your climate data in hand, you can begin to choose your plants. For your first garden, the key to building confidence is to start with plants known for being easy and forgiving. Radishes, leaf lettuce, spinach, bush beans. Summer squash, like zucchini, and many cherry tomato varieties are also famously productive and relatively simple to grow, especially if you start with healthy seedlings from a local nursery rather than from seed. The aisles of a garden center can be an intimidating landscape, shiny, specialized gadgets, each promising to make your gardening life easier. Lured by clever marketing, too many beginners buy every tool they see. They return home with an armload of items, cluttering the garage, draining their wallet. The reality, for a small first garden, you only need a handful of high-quality tools. Invest in a few good tools that feel comfortable in your hands, not a vast collection of mediocre ones. So, what are the true essentials? Hand trowel, your most used tool. Transplanting seedlings. Digging small holes for seeds. Removing stubborn weeds. Digging tool, spade or shovel. Spade with a flat blade, cutting clean edges. Rounded shovel, moving soil and compost. Watering implement, watering can or hose. Watering can with a rose, gentle watering of seedlings. Hose with adjustable nozzle, soft shower. Garden rake, smoothing and leveling soil. Clearing leaves and debris. Pruners, sharp hand shears, harvesting vegetables, trimming herbs, cutting back dead foliage. Know what to avoid. You almost certainly don't need an expensive rototiller. Digging fork, adequate for turning soil. Shovel, also adequate, gives a better feel for soil. Skip single-purpose tools, bulb planters. Skip corn shuckers. Skip intricate weeding gadgets. Many tasks can be done with your hand trowel. Avoid complex power tools that need fuel and maintenance. If there is one single action that determines the fate of a new garden, it is watering. It's the most common cause of plant failure. Mistakes go both ways. Overwatering. Anxious beginners kill plants with kindness. Overwatering suffocates roots and leads to rot and disease. Underwatering, forgetful gardeners let plants wilt and die of thirst. Stop rigid schedules. Learn to listen to your plants and soil. Always check the soil first. Use your finger, the most reliable tool. Stick your index finger about an inch or two into the soil near the base. Dry at depth? Time to water. Moist? Hold off and check again tomorrow. Water deeply and less frequently. A light daily sprinkle keeps roots shallow and vulnerable. A deep soak every few days encourages deeper, stronger roots. Timing and method matter. Best time to water: early morning. Morning lets water sink in before heat causes evaporation. Morning lets foliage dry, reducing fungal disease like powdery mildew. Aim the water at the base, onto the soil, not the leaves. That delivers water to the root zone. Mulch is one of your most powerful tools. Apply a 2 to 3 inch layer of organic material: straw, shredded leaves, wood chips. Throughout this guide, we have systematically dismantled the common mistakes that plague beginner gardeners. We have talked about the critical importance of sun, the foundational nature of soil, the structure of your beds, the selection of your plants, the tools of the trade, the art of watering. But underlying all of these practical steps is a single, unifying principle: the virtue of patience and the power of observation. The urge to rush, to do everything at once, is a powerful force, especially when you are filled with the initial excitement of starting a new project. But gardening operates on a different clock, nature's clock, which cannot be hurried. Your garden is not a static construction project. It is a dynamic, living system that is constantly changing. The most valuable skill you can cultivate is the habit of spending a few minutes in your garden each day simply looking. Observe how the light moves. Notice which plants seem to be thriving, which seem to be struggling. Look at the color of the leaves. Check the underside of the foliage for any unwelcome pests. Watch for the first signs of a flower bud, the first blush of red on a tiny tomato. This daily act of quiet observation will teach you more than any book or video ever could. It connects you to the rhythm of your garden and allows you to respond to its needs proactively rather than reactively. Remember that failure is not just a possibility in gardening. It is an inevitability and a crucial part of the learning process. You will lose some plants. A surprise frost might claim your beans, or cabbage moths might decimate your kale. Do not view these events as a reflection of your worth as a gardener. Instead, view them as data points. Each failure is a lesson. Why did that plant die? Was it not enough sun? Was the soil too wet? Did a pest arrive unnoticed? By asking these questions, you gather the knowledge you will need to be more successful the following week, the following month, and the following year. Gardening is a marathon, not a sprint. There you have it, the roadmap to starting a garden that actually grows without the usual headaches. Remember, gardening is a marathon, not a sprint, so avoid the urge to do everything at once. If you found value in this guide, please subscribe to the channel and drop a comment below telling us what you are planting first. Happy gardening!